My name's S. Rob. I would like to talk a little bit about gateway beings. And that's it's an important part about the system of magic that I created because it basically holds the thing together. It makes it work, is a better way to put it. And this system of magic basically is greater than all the others because it includes all of the others. Okay? It's greater than any of the individual ones because it's everything. It's a whole lot. And it's a unified system, meaning it works for all beings and all types of magic. There's nothing left out. Everything is within it. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the important subject of the gateway being. These are gateway gods, gateway spirits that allow us to summon into this world. And that's basically what they do. They open a gateway to the other realm or realms, okay? We're not assuming here that we understand everything. That's the difference with this system. We're not assuming everything. We don't have to know everything for it to work. Okay, we open a gateway and it opens it to that world or where those beings reside. They can then come through, we can put them back and it can close again. And that is how it works, basically speaking. A list of these beings would include Papa Legba. He also known as the Voodoo Man himself, the Voodoo Man. Also thought to be Saint Peter. But really a different version to the Saint Peter who exists as a separate gateway being, okay? Papa Legba has a walking stick. He walks with a limp, and it's said to walk with a limp because he has 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in the other, and that's basically. And he has a doorway, which you can call a doorway or a gateway, and that's how he controls that, and things can come through, back and through into the world. Actually used him with 2 other people to steal the power from the Spear of Destiny in Vienna, the one that Hitler had. To steal the power from that one and put it into another one. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'll show you this. And that means that this here, it did work successfully because when a man's picture was put under it, he actually found his own church and was promoted. And that is that there. That means that I actually have the power of the Spear of Destiny in this. It's actually a Roman pillion spearhead of the right date. Okay? So I'll just put that down there. I wasn't going to show that. And that was an unusual thing that I did with Papa Legba. Papa Legba has a mixed origin, meaning we're talking about, African, but other things as well. Christianity all merged together. Okay, so we've got that there. And we've also got a Legba, which could be thought of similar. He's also voodoo to a large extent. 7 African power system, but also used for all the same spirits you can use Papa Legba for. Okay, and like I said, Papa Legba is very versatile. Legba a little bit less so, but not so much. As in that you could use Papa Legba to help you summon anything, but you get the voodoo version of it. Okay, so you get a voodoo version of that. The nearest thing that exists in that world is what you'd actually get. Okay, so you can use them for almost anything, but it adds a different flavour to things. But if you had to pick one to use, not a bad one. Really a good one to use. And the Legba, of course, used in Jamaican Voodoo. They use him as Papa Legba. So he's a similar being. Not exactly the same. Most people class him as the same. I class him as slightly different. I class him as a little bit more of an African edge. And a little bit of a different flavour in the palette is how I sort of experience them. Or colours than Papa Legba does. And that's 2 gateway beings. But they're not all like that. We've also got Saint Peter. And he's only for angels. Okay, he was once a man, he ascended, he's a saint, and he is the gateway being. He is for angels only. Okay, you can't use him for anything else. There's also Leviathan. Leviathan is a devil. Now this is different because voodoo has a lot of black magic within it, but it has other magic as well. You can do light voodoo. It tends to be more of a grey than a white, to be fair. But Leviathan is only for devils, demons, stuff like this. Okay. Leviathan is a demon, is a devil rather, I should say. He's demonic. We use the word demonic for anything of that type, but he's a devil, as in he was an angel and he fell from grace, a very high level one. And he's the 3rd powerful most devil in hell. You've got Lucifer, Beelzebub, and Leviathan, and he's the gateway. He is the gateway. That's a good point. These beings are gateways, okay? There was somebody once said yes, well, you've got to lock the door, and then without realising I actually invented the method. A lot of people don't realise the methods I use, I invent. I invented it, so I understand it more than anyone else does. Because I invented it. And basically speaking, like I said, it doesn't work that way. They are the gateway. Papa Legba is the gateway. Legba is the gateway. And of course, Leviathan is the mouth of hell. The hell mouth is the mouth of hell. Okay? He is literally is that creature. Not he, is more of an it actually. Is that creature. Okay? And we can move on to the other ones. We've got one would be Janus perhaps. Janus is a good one. Two-faced Roman god. Interesting point. The Rome was quite a diverse empire, so you can do a lot with Janus. The different thing is with Janus, you tend to get the right one. So if you've something you're using and it's Western and you're not sure which gateway it's being to use, a good one to use, better than Papa Legba in that situation, would be Janus. Okay, the two-faced Roman god, and he controls doorways, gateways, things like that. Okay, he controls that, and also time. Past and the future, they all have a backstory, these things. And of course you've got Hermes, bit of an odd man out. Hermes controls borders, so you wouldn't be moving through a gateway, you'd be thinning a border. Different thing is, a border is all around you. It's all you thin the border and bring it back. But it's better for some things than others. For instance, if you wanted to transport a room to hell, you'd have to use a border to transport the whole room and back again, which is safer than you can imagine, because you're trying to transport that room, you stay in the room, you keep the doorway locked, don't leave, and trying to just see what you can see out the window and things like this. You do that using Hermes. And he's known for travelling, but he also controls borders. So we use him like that. We use him as like a gateway being, but like I said, he's borders. And I've actually done that before. I did that on the podcast, on the program, The World Magic Movement, where people's houses and their rooms were sent to hell. And when I did it, there was a very dark, low laugh. Came from the next room. And it turned out that the house has no other people in it. That the thing had went successfully to hell. This was before the show. And not just that it went to hell, but the demon had a very low voice, must have been very, very large. I did follow the advice I gave other people and didn't leave the room. So I just went through the show and see what information I could get as I was listening it before it was shown. And I did find that it went away at the right time, because there was an end ritual to thicken the border again and send the room back. And it all worked fine, you know. The outside did look slightly different, because a lot of time hell looks a bit like this. Okay, it just looks slightly differently. Like it depends what layer of hell you're in. And you do that, I said, using Hermes. And you can use sigils, that's another thing. These entities can be used as sigils as well. You don't have to use words, or words are convenient. But if you're doing, like when I did it there, it was partly video. There was a sigil as well, which I use. Which I haven't used that much in the books, because they tend to work better on video occultism. Which, by video occultism, I mean occultism done via video. Not teaching it via video, but where the video actually does it. You play it with intent and then it happens, which is something, again, I invented, you know. Otherwise, you're just watching somebody doing a ritual. So what? We're not using what it can actually do, you know. You don't want to be watching rituals. You want to be taking part in them, doing them yourself. Okay, I'll move on. Like I said, with Janus, we've got Hermes. Oh, and because we've also got Akka. Very interesting one, Akka. Akka is ancient Egyptian. Again, he's a mouth. It can be the lion's mouth open or closed, but it can also be a sun discarded by lions. Okay, but we're talking an opening of some description. Big opening. What do you use Akka for? Any of the ancient Egyptian ones, basically. And anything very, very old. If it's very ancient, then you could use Akka. Okay? But of course, I have left one off. One entity off I have left off, which you won't have guessed, and I have covered it in some books, but not that many, and that is Lord Ganesha. And the reason is because Lord Ganesha opens things but doesn't close them. So normally you open a gateway, you summon it through, you put it back, and you close it again. Lord Ganesha only does beginnings, so he essentially only opens it up. He starts things off. So I prefer to use Lord Ganesha alongside something else like Akka. And then you'd summon through something from that type of magic from Hinduism, and then you could send it back, if that's not the way they would do it. But it works within my system. That way you can shut the doorway again. Okay, we can shut it again and have some control, which they don't tend to worry about. And that's basically it. That's basically about gateway entities. and how you'd use them. There's more than that. You could go hunting other ones, but you can work quite effectively with those entities without any problem at all. To summon various different things. It's a good way of working magic. It's a good solid way. And like I said, that's the thing about gateway entities. It also means if you see anyone using things like this, opening and closing doorways, they are in actual fact ripping off my work. Because that was the way I did it. It wasn't the way it was done. A lot of people did things with things that were flat and things like this. And they did use sigils. But not in the same way. That idea of opening things and with words and summoning things through, signing them back and closing them again. All me. Yes, that was me. That was my idea. It works. It's practical. So you don't need to remember all of these. Like I said, I covered Papa Legba, Legba, Saint Peter, Leviathan, Janus, Hermes, and of course now Lord Ganesha, which is the elephant-headed Hindu god. So I hope you've enjoyed this short talk. But do think about it. You do use them. You know, try using different ones to see how it works. Because once you do that, you can divide the spirits up into the different types, and it really works rather well. My name's S. Rob. Thanks a lot.